Okay, here's a message. This is from Saeed. He says, "Hi Kurt, my name is Saeed and I'm an Arab Muslim. I didn't check your website channel, your whole channel videos. I'm fairly new to the channel and I realized that you're an atheist and you're showing me something new I never thought about, like the difficulty atheist people face within themselves. My question is, have you ever looked into religions like Christianity, Judaism, Islam and such, and what's your thought about religions in general? Thank you for your post and good luck, sir." Let's see. Pretty broad question. Have I ever looked into religions? Only Christianity, seriously. I used to be a Christian, and I became a Christian when I was a teenager. Didn't last too long, a couple of years. That's it. As for the other ones, basically my giving up Christianity essentially precluded interest in any other religions, even philosophical branches that have kind of a religious element to them, like Buddhism, which is more of a, I guess really more of a philosophy than anything else. So what are my thoughts about them? Well, they fill a need. They fill. I believe in it. It's hard to nutshell it, but if I was forced to nutshell it, I would say that they are a balm to the fear of death. And the frightening aspect of uncertainty in the world, of not knowing, of mystery. I suspect that there are people who, if I can, broadly categorize people, there are people who are comfortable with mystery. Excuse me, I think I'm going to sneeze. This is embarrassing. I feel it coming up. Pardon me. So I think there's some people are uncomfortable with mystery, or some people are comfortable. I just covered both ends, right? Some people are comfortable with mystery. Some people are not. As for myself, the world is like those ancient mariner maps where you would have the parts of the world, like think from the 15th century or so, where there are parts of the maps. What map of the world, and there's parts of the map that are drawn in that the people of that time knew where it was, and then the other parts are kind of left blank or just filled in with rough ideas of what might be there, and maybe even fanciful ideas like dragons or sea serpents or things like that. Dragons be there wherever the unknown parts are. For me, I'm satisfied with the areas of the map that are blank. Not that I don't think that there's anything there, but I don't know, so I don't fill it in. And it doesn't mean that I don't think there's nothing there necessarily. I just don't know what's there, and I reserve judgment. Now I'll have an operational idea. For example, if the map goes off into expanse of an ocean, and we've only gone so far, well, I'll probably assume that there's continues ocean on for some distance, and maybe there's land out there somewhere. But so I'll have an operational idea, and if I'm going to provision a ship to cross into that zone, I'll provision it with enough raw materials to satisfy a very long ocean voyage. So it's not that I say that here's what I know, and then this is what I don't know, and there's nothing out there. Like coming back to the religion thing about God, like here's what I see, and then I don't see any evidence for God, therefore God doesn't exist. I say I don't know what's out there, but from an operational perspective, I operate as though God doesn't exist. It's like assuming that there's continued to be water. I assume that there is no God because there's no evidence of it in my experience, no empirical, tangible evidence. That's the way that I operate. I'm comfortable with that. That's all right. I think the people that find satisfaction in religion are those who don't like those parts of the map that are unfilled in, and they want something to be there. They want to fill it in, even if and they're the ones that will draw in the dragons or draw in something fanciful or project that there might be islands out there or whatever. I mean, an example that comes to mind was early views of Venus. When we started looking at Venus for the first time, what we noticed was that we couldn't see anything. It was basically a planet full of clouds. It was covered with dense atmosphere, and we couldn't see. So people started speculating and saying, I think there were some that basically said, well, we don't know, it looks cloudy, we don't know what's down there, we'll hold off until we can find out more information. Others said, well, it's cloudy, it must be kind of swampy and dense dense atmosphere. It must be kind of swampy down there. And what kind of things are swampy, cloudy places? They pictured, at that time, oh, it must be like a area of the dinosaurs. Maybe there's dinosaurs down there. So they started off with an observation of they couldn't see anything and came up with the conclusion that there were dinosaurs on Venus. Well, it turns out that the people that decided to hold off deciding on what was down, they didn't say nothing was down there. The more scientific people didn't say there's nothing on Venus. They simply said, we can't see what's down there, we'll hold off until we can find out more information. And eventually we sent probes down, and we know a lot about Venus now, being able to map it as well, and we know exactly what's there, and it's certainly not a place for you or me. So coming back to my example before, there's the people that are comfortable with not knowing, and there's people who are not comfortable with not knowing. And the not knowing part extends into the realm of mortality and death. Some people, I think, just can't abide the idea that they won't be around anymore, and they will take on religion as balm in a way, as sort of a satisfying element to give them some hope that there's something beyond that. And it doesn't bother me one bit. I don't want to die in it. I love life. I would love to go on. I can't. That's one of the reasons some of my videos touch on the topic of extending our lives and even the potential of more immortality of a sort. Because I'd love to be around to explore and to learn and to discover more. But I don't think I will. I know I won't. I know I won't be part of the generation that will have those extended life. But that's all right with me. What I simply do is take that energy that I would have fretted about it and use it to try and make today a better day. Try to squeeze more out of it. So coming back to the original question, what do I think about them? The religions of the world, I think they give something to those that need that something, but they hold nothing of interest to the likes of me. To me, it would be nothing more than having that blank map and deciding, okay, there's all these blank areas, we're going to fill it in with what we think is there based on prophecy about what might be there. Now, to me, that does nothing. If you want to say it as so, and say this is a speculative idea, like the guys that were saying, maybe like science fiction, saying we think on Mars, or the early ones that said the canals of Mars, right? It was speculation. That's all it was. And you want to have it in the realm of fiction, that's fine. But once you start claiming that it's true, and that it's an exclusive truth, based on little to no evidence, or basically no evidence at all, then I think that's stepping over the line, and I think you're doing our species a disservice in that regard, holding things back, especially teaching children that that's the way it is. It teaches them to not use the fine tool of reason in examining the world, and instead to find solace in stories and mythology and the satisfying. The word that comes to mind is equanimity. I don't even know if that's a word I understand, but it's kind of like the community that is created of believers, that we're kind of a self-satisfied acceptance of comfort in knowing. I'd rather not. I'd rather accept that I don't know what I don't know, and move forward to try and figure it out. Almost 9 minutes answering a simple email, but I guess it wasn't a simple one, huh? Thanks for asking. Take care, everybody.